Oh, are we on? Oh. Hi, friends. Doc South here. Look at this. Do you see? Yeah, I'm doing this particular one. Excuse me. At night, it's dark outside. Yeah, we got light. Yeah, we paid the power bill. But look, see, look at my eyes. Look into my eyes. Yeah, I don't know. There's just so it looks kind of kind of weird. Well, yeah. Never was a fashion plate, but boy, that's an interesting light effect. I'm not totally sure what's causing it. Oh, maybe the light's bouncing off my glasses or the mixing board. I mean, the computer screen. That could be it. Well, anyway, we got better fish to fry. I was going to come up with some. While I was doing a show earlier today, one of the listeners, Jessica, lives out in Pennsylvania, came up with this wonderful recipe. And I think I had known about this, but she brought it back to my attention. I'm pretty sure I've heard of this. I was telling folks about how pastina is such good stuff to eat. Do you know pastina? You can go to the supermarket in the pasta aisle. You know, you got the long spaghetti, you got the farfallis and the, I don't know, the linguinis and all those different shapes. Well, there's usually a tiny box. It's usually not much bigger than about this. I'm looking at about 6 inches by 7, and usually about inch and a half thick. And that's filled with pastina, which is little tiny particles of pasta. They're like pasta at the at atomic level, very, very tiny. And you can get like a nice saucepan. You fill it with water, okay? Maybe a saucepan that might hold a quart. You put in the water, you get it boiling, add a little salt, and then you add maybe a half cup of pastina. Now you got to stir it. Yeah, don't let it just congeal on the bottom, or you're going to have a pastina pancake, which actually maybe wouldn't be so bad. But you want to stir it up. The water should be rapidly boiling, a little salt, like I said. Some folks like to throw maybe a drop or two of olive oil in there, just for good luck, I guess. But anyway, you boil the pastina for about, oh, I don't know, probably about 5 minutes, whatever it says on the instructions. And you'll notice that the little tiny stars get bigger. Right. And what you do is you get yourself one of those those screen strainers, not a spaghetti strainer, because the little pastas will go flying right through the holes. But you get like something you would use, for straining smaller macaroni or maybe vegetables, that kind of thing. Not a colander. And what you do is with pastina, once you've drained it, don't chill it by running it through cold water or anything. Just throw it in a bowl, all good and hot. It might not hurt to put a little pat of butter on the bottom of the bowl. The heat of the pastina, it's just been in boiling water. That'll melt the butter. You add a little more butter, stir it up, little pepper, or a lot of pepper. Pepper to taste, and spaghetti cheese. And you mix that all up. And I had that for breakfast today. Gosh, it was good. Yeah, that makes a good lunch, pastina. Yeah, you just boil some pastina. You don't even have to chew it. No, hey, no sense chewing it. It's already, it's like I said, it's subatomic. You can just kind of roll it around in your, yeah, it's pretty tasty. Well, Jessica heard that, and she says, Doc, I got another idea here. It's called ice cube soup. Okay. It says Jessica here. It says, I heard about your pastina recipe, and I wanted to share mine. My mom called it ice soup. When we were growing up, she called it ice soup, and she said, you'll see why. It says, get a packet of Lipton chicken noodle soup. Okay, and start cooking it per the instructions on the box. Now, already you got a winner. That chicken soup's good. Okay. I like to get it without MSG if you can. But anyway, okay. So per instructions on the box, add as much pastina to it as you like. But we add about half the box. So you got all this chicken broth and noodles going already. Little hunks of chicken in there. dehydrated chicken getting hydrated again, and you throw in the pastina, about half a cup, and you stir it up. It takes about till the until almost all the water is absorbed. It takes about 5 minutes. That'd be about right. It becomes rather thick. Then you spoon it into a bowl and add an ice cube because it's too hot to eat. Well, you don't have to add the ice cube. That's sort of optional. Although if you burn your, don't say we didn't warn you. And she says, yummy. Now I wish I had some. Oh, and yeah, and she says leftovers are just as good, but you might need to add a bit of water when reheating. A very good idea there, Jessica. That was one idea I was going to bring up, is any leftovers can be turned into soup. You got beef stew left over? Soup. Spaghetti? Yeah, mix all the pasta, leave it in a pan overnight. Next morning or next time you're going to eat, you throw some water in, maybe some bouillon, a broth of some sort. Make it into spaghetti and spaghetti sauce soup. You got some meatballs left over, a little hunk of sausage? Sure, there you go. Almost anything can be turned into a utterly delicious soup. You get right down to it. Yeah. And you can always add some spices if you think that'll help. Another thing I've found that's very good, you get that Lipton's noodle soup, you make it a little thinner. And I learned this when I worked for a while. I worked in a mental hospital, a state mental hospital back when I was younger. No, they were taking bets as to when I'd be tied to the chair, but no. I kind of liked it. I liked being an orderly. It was got beat up every day, but it was pretty cool. Well, one thing the patients did, they would get chicken noodle soup. They had really good chicken noodle soup in this place, and what they would do is they had their own bakery on site. I guess some of the patients that were able to do so worked in the kitchen, and they made this real nice crusty white bread, and it was always very fresh, and yet it had a chewy crust like Italian bread. It was good. Well, what you do is you butter that bread real good. Butter it up. You got your hot soup, then you break the bread with the butter on it. You throw it all into the soup, into little pieces. Throw it in there. I'll tell you the truth. You'll probably not want to have regular soup ever again. But it really should be just chicken soup you do that with. Something about it, the butter, the bread, good. Yes. And what else? Oh, gosh. Well, there you go. That's a few good things right there. I'll think of some more. But I may send this off to my friends at the Lost Storytellers page because, being budding artists, they got to know how to eat good on very little money. And you can always take leftovers, turn them into soup. Yep. Let's see. What else? Oh, there was one other thing I had in mind. Well, maybe we'll save it for another time. Oh, Millie. Millie wanted to put in her 2 cents. She told me to tell you folks this. Anything you give to a dog to eat, first off, make sure they can eat it. There's some things you can eat, they can't. Things like raisins, I don't think are good for dogs. And there's other stuff. There's on the websites you can look. Is oregano good for a dog? Yes or no? It's all there. Look it up if you're concerned. But what Millie really likes is anything I serve her, as long as I put Chinese noodles on it. Now, that means the crunchy noodles. Yeah, and it doesn't matter what size. It can be the fat ones, the thin, the real skinny ones, or the ones that are like little flat ribbons. Yeah. She'll eat those all day long and bark for more. And she loves it on, like if you got a little bit of hamburger or some spaghetti, or her breakfast in the morning. There's a video where I think we showed what she gets for breakfast. And you throw a few Chinese noodles on. Some reason that just does the trick. Oh, and if you're really stuck, fortune cookies for a dog. Just take the fortune out. Right. And there you go. I hope this helps. It's, again, just a service here of the Doc South syndicate here for you. I'll come up with some more good recipes. I may know, I might come up with a few things on how to make a really good beef stew, stuff like that. Yeah, well, because frankly, when you're in the bucks, you got some money for meat. It's nice to make stew because you can stretch stew for a long time. Yes. Okay. Well, anyway, so they. One other thing. I'm sorry. If you got leftover potatoes, don't matter whatever kind you got. You know what's good? You get if you got an egg, a fresh egg. You fry the potatoes up. No matter what they are. It could be potatoes from making sauerkraut and kibasi. It could be baked potatoes. You just chop them up. Mashed potatoes, home fries, whatever. You put them in a frying pan, fry them till they're brown, and then break an egg over them. Just one egg's enough. Two, I guess, if you're really hungry. And you need pepper and ketchup. Yep, just kind of stir the potatoes in with the egg. The egg will cook in no time, and you'll know when it's done, and done to taste. And put that in a bowl, little buttered toast. Boy, you'll be you'll be running all day. Yes. No, you'll be running at work. Yeah, you'll be working. Yeah. I don't mean running to the, but okay, but you get the idea. Yeah, fried potatoes and egg. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, well, enough said. Thought I'd mention. Okay, God bless, friends. See you later now. Bye-bye.